Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Hockey Night in Australia. We will be covering all of the AIHL action, of course, from week 16. It was a pretty hectic round. So we are Hockey Hype Australia. This is part of the Hockey Hype Australia podcast network. You can find us on the web at www.hockeyhypeaustralia.com.au and on socials at hockeyhypeaus. I'm Gordon Goodenough, joined by Sean O'Connor and Andrew McDougall. How are we going, guys? How's things?
Great to be here. It's been a
it's good. Yeah, good weekend of hockey.
Are any of you two Hungry Jacks fans?
I think I am now.
I've always said for a long time that I think out of all the fast food chains, I think you get the best value out of Hungry Jacks, and that is not a paid snippet. That is not a paid snippet.
Jack Corwin, if you're listening right now, you owe us some money or some Whoppers with cheese or something. I don't know. Burgers are better at Hungry Jacks. They will be the naming sponsor for the AIHL finals, so that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, massive deal for the AI. They haven't had such a large sponsor for their finals since I think the Air Canada days. So yeah, it's big news.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone should be surprised that, like, with the when I seen it, I thought of Bob Turner straight away. So it sort of didn't surprise me when the announcement was made.
Yeah. When I met him earlier this year or late last year, I don't know. Time is a circle. It's but when I met him, he had mentioned that before taking on the role, he'd had a chat with Jack Corwin, the head of Hungry Jacks Australia. So I was like, oh, okay, you've got some contacts, and yeah, congrats to him. I know Liam Kelson has been busy as well, trying to secure corporate deep partnerships as well. So good work all round by the AIHL. We do have some hellos in the chat. Hello, Jessica Calder. Hi, Tori Diver. Evening all from Phil Taylor. Evening, guys, from Says G. Where is Courtney? Courtney's playing hockey. She sent us a message saying that she couldn't attend. So you're stuck with the Three Stooges, Amigos, Musketeers. I don't know. We're something. Hey everyone!
A win for tonight, right?
We are. Hey everyone from William Jordan Hayes, Brady Petrus. Hello. I hope your first away trip last week was really good to the Central Coast Rhinos. Brady, let us know in the comments a bit later. Phil Taylor, good to see you on the weekend. Tori, good day. All you good people from all the good people at Krause Sports Photography, Willie and Angenique, of course, with their excellent coverage from Macquarie. Cash for comment, do you, from Phil Taylor. He's done that a couple of times. This is from Anthony Russell. Morning, fellas. A weekend so dramatic and action-packed, the league zombie back into existence to comment. Thankfully, some good hockey play too, and good news on Hungry Jacks top line sponsors. Is it called Hungry Jacks in the UK as well, Anthony, or is it Burger King?
Burger King, right? Hungry Jacks, I think, is a very Australian thing. Like, it was originally an Australian franchise before Burger King was associated with them.
Yeah,
that's correct. I did a weird Wikipedia search one day.
Nice.
Yeah, Phil Taylor, great to see you. Also from Tori. Hi team. Will there be a Hungry Jacks at the rink? I hope so. I hope that they fire out Hungry Jacks burgers into the crowd like t-shirts at the basketball.
Oh my god, how good would that be?
Yeah. You'd have like, wasn't it Curtis Lazar, the guy that picked up like a burger off the ice once? Who was the hamburglar that they had in that? Andrew Hammond was their goaltender, and brought them close to a playoff spot. And then people threw hamburgers on the ice after Senators wins.
I really hope they have a mascot. That would be phenomenal.
3 Amigos and Tori. And yes, she met DU2. We saw the photos. Time to get hyped from Alita Teal. And yes, it was wonderful from Brady. Arena is a gorgeous arena, and the Central Coast is lovely. Burger King here from Anthony Russell, only in Oz. And yes, Burger King from Tori as well. Hungry Jacks to people here sounds like a transport cafe. Would you say cafe if you're in England? A transport.
They call it calf.
A calf.
Well, at least they do in the north.
On the side of a B road run out of a porta cabin. That is very specific. HJ Holden maybe for Paul Finesse, but we do have our own sponsor. So I am just gonna work out
classy segue, GG.
Oh mate, look at me classing it up. So this is TTC Global has come on board. So I've got a bit of an ad read for you. Are you ready to elevate your software to the next level? Our quality partner, TTC Global, works with companies to ensure software meets your customers' needs and is ready for the real world. Whether you're a startup launching your first website and app, or an enterprise upgrading your internal systems, the expert team at TTC Global has got your testing angles covered on everything from functionality and security to performance and accessibility. Victory is in the details, so send an email to australia@ttcglobal.com using code HHA2024 and get on the power play with TTC Global today. They test so that you can sit back and enjoy the hockey. And that was me with Matt Wiggins from TTC Australia. We usually get food court food after watching a game at Macquarie, so we'll have to see if there's a Hungry Jacks in there and ask to speak to Jack Corwin. But yes, a big weekend of hockey, and I am going to have real problems with this layout, so we're just going to talk with our faces covered. Oh, where is the results? I don't think I put the results standing in. Where is the results? Here we are. I'm going to upload it now. But we'll go reverse. Here are the standings. We've got in the Rural the North Stars on 43 points. They had a really good win in overtime against the Melbourne Ice. The Brave on 38. The Lightning on 28. Adrenaline on 24. And Rhinos on 18. The Hellier standings, we've got the Bears on 63. The Ice on 51. The Thunder on 49, Mustangs on 38, Ice Dogs on 23. But here are the results. Any results catch your eye?
Yeah, I mean, the results this week were a lot larger than we've seen in the recent rounds. Like, we've had many 1-goal games recently, and this time we only had one. So a lot larger margins with a lot more goals. So a lot of goaltenders would have disliked this round. Their save percentages would have gone down. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting that the Lightning and the Adrenaline split their weekend. It was important for both teams to get wins, and they both managed to do it. I also thought that Perth's road trip to New South Wales to Sydney was highly successful.
Yeah, first team to come into Macquarie and take all the points from the Bears. So the Bears had lost one game in a shootout against the Rhinos, of course. But that's the first time that someone has taken 4 points from the Bears at home. So that was huge for the Thunder. Played really well as well. One overtime game. We had as you said, Sean, it feels like we've had half a dozen overtime games a week.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was and it was good to see the North Stars travel and get a victory, because they haven't done so much of that recently. So I'm sure they're fans, and there's lots of them, especially who watch us at Hockey Hype. And yeah, they would be ecstatic to get that win.
Yeah, absolutely. A good win for them. We've got a highlight of a goal. We posted it up on socials earlier, but we'll get to that in a little bit. For the standings, Perth Thunder are now 1 point, theoretically, 1 point away from clinching. So good news for them. They're close. The Mustangs, they're hanging on. They do play the Perth Thunder. We'll get to that this coming weekend, which will be another huge game. It seems like all the games now that they're just like the importance is massive.
Yeah, it's a must win game this weekend for the Mustangs. I mean, but they've been doing so much of it recently. They're in such good form.
I think I messaged it in the Slack. I think that the three highlights for me from the weekend, or the three takeaways, was I think the Lightning did a job that they needed to do, was get a split across the weekend. I think the Thunder, and I put it on, I think I commented on, what did I comment on? Hockey Hype, I think it might have been on Facebook. They've planted the flag, I think, as contenders, legitimate contenders, considering the adversity that they had across the weekend too, with Tennessee going down. That's a massive, massive blow. And in the Slack chat, I did mention that I think the Mustangs are probably a team that is better than a lot of teams, but will probably not make the finals. They're playing really, really good hockey. Yeah,
it's almost a shame, Doogie, that they didn't really turn around this form just maybe like a week or two prior to when they did start this run, because they would be right in it then. They can still make it. It'd be very hard. But at the moment, you got to think the Thunder are challenging the Ice for second now in Helia.
Yeah, and I think they'll do it. Like the Melbourne Ice have hit a bit of a slump. They've hit a bit of a skid now. They've gotten players back, which is good. But yeah, they've just hit a bit of a skid, and the Perth Thunder are ramping up. Hitting form at a good time before finals.
Yeah, and team we didn't mention was the Brave again. They had a big win over the Rhinos who travelled, and it was an important victory for the Brave. They looked very dominant throughout, I must say, and great result for the Brave, and they're really now pushing for the North Stars.
I think that North Stars Sunday win is massive. Like when you're just talking about the Brave there, Sean, that to be able to get over the line, I don't know how many times the North Stars have gone to the overtime and not got the win, but it felt like a lot. So
yeah, I think they've lost like 6 or 7.
Yeah, to get a bit of a monkey off the back, and with the Brave breathing down their neck, it was a big, big result.
100%.
Yeah. When you watch the Brave, Sean, what's the difference between now and the start of the season? I know the obvious answer is imports, but is there something else that you've noticed?
Well, they're also clicking a lot more now, so there seems to be a lot more forward momentum coming from the D-line. I think Clark has played a big part in actually not just doing it himself, but encouraging others and other D-men to get forward as well. It makes a big difference to the Brave attack, and I think it's also we've got players now which have really hit some great form, like Tyler Kabara. Every week he is playing phenomenal hockey. That consistency is brilliant, and like players like Mitch Henning have been playing really well recently. So and Nick Christensen, it's good to see that that local contingent also stepping up.
Yeah, and we do have a comment here. Yes, this is true. Paul Finesse, Brave had one of the biggest player representation in the world early as well. Yeah, they were missing something like 11 players, I think we calculated out at the start of the season based on imports and national team for both Australia and New Zealand missing at the start.
And you can't hide the fact that having the second top goaltender and Alexi Toivonen back has helped the Brave as well. Like Alex Tetro was taking on a lot of responsibility just by himself early in the season, and he was playing a lot of minutes, and just being able to have that rotation has really helped as well.
I think you've mentioned before too, Sean, that you feel like they've got fitter as the season's gone on.
Yeah, well, they're no longer getting to the third periods and sort of collapsing, and that's a big deal for them. So, being able to go the entire 60 minutes makes a big difference in this league.
Yeah. And we do have some love in the comments. There sure is a Hungry Jacks at Macquarie. I'll keep an eye out for it. William Jordan Hayes. Jeffrey Allen Roth, hello to you as well. Thunder goes boom. Yes, they did indeed. North Stars, Mark Hopwood. Yes, you should be. That was a good performance from the North Stars. Business end of the season from Brett Parker. And Anthony Russell from Banners on the Wall. Follow him for all things UK hockey. Brave got a bit of competence, but also confidence. They got some swagger back as well. So yeah, it's a good time to be hitting form this end of the season, right?
Yeah, 100%. And Gangalossi is now also another player who seems to be hitting form as well. And I think he's kind of now more so than earlier on adapted to how the AI is. I don't think he was quite used to such a physical league before, coming from Norway. So, being a small guy and not used to that physicality can take some time to get used to.
That's crazy to say considering his season.
I know, right? he did start off a bit slowly, and I think he, to me, he kind of looked like he was lacking a bit of confidence on the ice, and now he seems to have it in droves. Like the goals that he scores, oh man, they're brilliant.
Yeah. We do have a question, Mark Hopwood. Any news about Riley Kay? I remember Courtney saying a couple of weeks ago that he was close. So maybe we'll see him before finals. I know with a situation like his, normally you'd need to maybe play like a certain number of games before finals. I know that in a case that he had where he was injured during a game, that's you're given dispensation for that. I'm pretty sure. So hopefully we see him at finals. He's averaging 6 points a game. Best in the league by far. So yeah. And Andrew John Egan, Coach Egan, an astute observer, mentioned they are scoring more than the opposition in the allocated time for play. So that is the secret.
The secret to success.
Yes. And Tory Diver just confirming injury listed people don't have to play games number. Yes. And I assume that they would get like I know for the PPS, which it was great for the league to mention something about the PPS. But I know, I know it's been the thing of which we do not speak. But I think you get like points for rookies, like etc.
So basically, you basically get discounts for having rookies and having local players who have been there for more than I think 2 or 3 seasons. So yeah. So having loyalty and youngsters makes a difference.
Yeah. And just confirmation from Tory, he's on the road to recovery. So we certainly wish him all the best. Shall we go into the points leaders? Let's do that. And here we go. Graphic by Doogie. Take us through the points leaders.
Well, Adam Kadlik is still sitting in number 1, and I don't think he's going to go anywhere. Looking at that 11-point lead, but I think off memory, off the top of my head, I think Scott Timmins has moved into 3rd. So
I think he was 4th last week.
Yeah, and I think Herman slid down to 5th because I don't think Drolay was above Herman last in week 15.
I think Herman was 3rd.
Yeah. So there's been a couple of movements there with Drolay and Timmins, and I think Timmins, since his return from injury in those few games out, he seems to step on the ice and just score hat tricks and put points away. So I think if he stays on the ice for the rest of the season, he will start rocketing up. I don't think he'll catch Kadlik, but he might give it a bit of a shake.
Yeah, I think He's made a big difference to the Mustangs. Him, Hayden Dawes, and
Ryland
what's the
Freed.
other one? Freed together. They're a frightening line.
Yeah.
It was crazy when Freed came into the team, and I think I did mention on here that he reminded me of an old school center up and down the ice. And then I wondered what would happen when Timmins came back and how they would. I actually thought Freed might slip down to the second line, but they haven't done that. It's been Timmins, Freed, and Hayden Dawes, sorry, on the same line. And Freed's one of those players that loves to get around the crease, always there in front of the goaltender, looking to tap one, get a rebound, shove one away. Really smart hockey player, and I think the three of those put up 18 points in 2 games.
Yeah,
across
I think you mentioned on the
weekend.
Slack this week just how many points those 3 combined for. And you look at the box score, and it's their names everywhere.
So they've really clicked.
Can you tell us, Doogie? Logan Flodell came over. I think if I recall correctly, he had a bit of a slow start, but now he has overtaken Tatsunoshi Nishida in the top spot for save percentage in the league, and this is the first time anyone other than Tatsu has led the save percentage category. What have you seen from his game?
When I first seen him, the very first game, I thought he was really active in the crease. Like, that's what stood out to me the most. It was like he wasn't afraid to come out and poke a puck away or get a stick in there. It seemed like he was moving around the crease a hell of a lot and was really active. That was the first thing that I noticed. When I watch him, and even now when I still watch him, it feels like it's like heart in your mouth type of stuff. But he's able to recover and get into the right spots and get the saves. And some of the games he's actually shut the door, where he's faced a lot of shots and just been able to be a brick wall for the Mustangs. He seems to like derbies as well. I don't know what it is, but against the ice in the latter part of the season, he's sort of risen to the occasion a bit. But he's really settled in. And yeah, there was a few times throughout the season and even across the weekend, you sort of hold your breath and you think, oh, they're going to let one in. But he's pretty solid, pretty rock solid.
It's good to see. Some players love those big moments, big times, those clutch matches. They really thrive on that pressure.
And we've just got Jeffrey Allen Roth in the chat. Mustang's big run has been significant since acquiring Dawes. He's fit right
it's
in,
all Hayden.
hasn't he?
Hayden is 100% the entire reason the Mustangs are winning, right?
Yeah. Yes, we will have this in the highlights. Mark Hopwood really enjoyed our North Stars goals against the ice, especially Drolet. And
he had a good weekend,
Jeffrey Allen Roth. He did. Bertien hasn't missed a game, and he is the goalie of the year for me. Yeah, since he's come over, I remember that, was it the first weekend where it was like Leo Bertien and Ryland Toth and like this epic battle up in Perth that was 0-0, and then Adelaide lost in overtime or a shootout.
Yes,
shootout. I think.
Shootout.
Yeah, shootout.
That was the only goal of the game was the shootout.
Yeah,
I think they're both given shutouts for that game.
Yeah. Which yeah, I have my own opinion on that. But
but speaking of that, Toth got another shutout this last week.
He did. We will get to that as well. 3-0 for the Adelaide Adrenaline, and geez, like, talk about gutting out a win at the perfect time when you need to do it. Season on the line.
Yeah, that's right. It could have been all over Red Rover.
Yeah, because then you go 7 points behind the Lightning, and you no longer control your destiny, because you've got 2 more games against the Lightning, so you can make up 6, but not 7. So keeping your fate in your own hands is good, obviously.
Yeah.
And considering the Saturday, the turnaround from the Saturday as well, to get the shutout. And when I looked at those Rurak standings, I honestly thought, and I probably still think it now, I still think I feel that the Lightning have more firepower. But obviously on the Sunday, they didn't put any away, and they were shut out. So you never know.
I tend to agree with you, Diggy. I think overall the Lightning probably have more firepower in their roster than the Adrenaline have, as well as the Rhinos. But yeah, there's just they just couldn't manage to back it up 2 days in a row. But they did have a massive statement on that Saturday.
Yeah. And we'll just go to the comments quickly from Anthony Russell. Sheeta stats have been shanked recently by the ice, forgetting how to hockey for a few weeks. Sadly, Flodell settled in well, got used to it, and got support up front. Yeah, they've also had injuries and player unavailability due to suspensions, etc. Brett Parker, I thought Flodell was very unlucky not to get a shutout against Newcastle on Saturday. I didn't say it out loud. It wasn't me. Definitely
superstition.
Was
it really
Brett
is
Parker.
A big thing in hockey.
It is. Phil Taylor, I was hoping Flodell would get the shutout on Sunday. He earned it. Hugh Whittle lost in regulation, 1 minute left, I think, but Toth did had a shutout from someone. Addison with the winner. Do you think the Bears have hit a wall? I think it's the second game of Vlad Rubes. I think the atmosphere
they won the first
of
one, didn't they?
Yeah, they won. They won against the Adelaide Adrenaline 4-2. They gave up a late goal. It was funny. I was calculating in my head, have the Bears won a shutout game when they were up 2-0 or 3-0, and then McInnes scored like 5 seconds later, and no. So the Bears haven't had a shutout yet. I thought it was really interesting. Macquarie was. I've never heard the fans. I think the fans have been frustrated. There's some fans unhappy with the change of coach and have been wanting to kind of take it out in some way or express that in some fashion to the team and management, and they couldn't when the Bears really led all game against the Adrenaline. But geez, the booing and the chirping was a lot. Okay. It was a lot on the weekend.
And it was a big crowd too there on the weekend as well.
Yeah. And I think it probably surprised some of the players. Like, there was stuff directed to everyone up and down the lineup.
A universal groan about the situation.
Yeah, Kimlin was copping some chatter, but if you look at the goals, maybe the one on Woodman, he'd want back from that Woodman shot from just inside the blue line. All the others were rush chances off giveaways or poor transition. So it's Kimlin was copping a lot of heat for that, which I didn't think he deserved, but other people are welcome to disagree with that. But yeah, it's a bit wild.
Two things. Flodell couldn't get the shutout on Sunday, Phil, because he didn't play on Sunday. And the Bears, I wonder whether or not the fact that they're only playing single game weekends, how much it can affect your rhythm of playing Saturday, Sunday all season. And I think they've only got one weekend now for the rest of the season where they're playing Saturday, Sunday, and they're just playing single game weekends. It could be just a little thing that affects the rhythm of the team with the new coach coming in as well. I don't know.
It's still too early to tell really just how the Bears are going to go under Vlad Rubes for like the rest of the time, because it's not a lot of time to be in charge of the team heading into finals. And you just don't know how they're going to react to a new leader on the bench.
Yeah, and I think it's been what's been bad for the Bears is being at home ever since the coaching change. I think a road trip would be really good for the Bears, and they go away in a week and a half, I think, to Perth for a doubleheader. Won't be an easy road trip, but at least you're not being chirped by your own fans. And Cassandra Edwards, she was there at Macquarie. Great person, met her for the first time in person as well. I've never heard that kind of chirping from your own team. It was surprising. There were new fans there that were like really confused as to what was going on. It's like I thought they were our team. I thought that guy was on our team. Oh yes, Hugh Whittle. Toth got a shutout loss against the Central Coast Rhinos. Thank you. I was way off. My apologies. Old Jungle saying don't mess with the form line. Kate McDonald, hi guys, jumping in on behalf of all Lightning fans to thank Sean Desange for scoring a goal for us on Saturday. Poor Sean.
Yeah.
And Mark Hopwood, any news on what happened with the commentator being penalized or ejected? We haven't heard anything. I think that there's meant to be something coming out from the Melbourne Ice. I believe that, you know, there's two issues. There's the issues of what they were talking about, which I think there's legitimate concerns about, you know, whether commentators should be signing a code of conduct and be informed of that beforehand. Absolutely. And then the what happened when, you know, a commentator was removed from the booth, it was because the team had the responsibilities, my understanding, to inform him. That's the process. The league informs the team informs the contractor. So
yeah, and I think
something
overall there must have been a communication breakdown between the league to the team and the team to the personnel involved. So yeah. So I don't think it was particularly handled very well.
No.
To say the least.
Yeah, it was great to see a contingent of Perth fans travel to Macquarie. It absolutely was. Yeah, there's the Perth are a good traveling team. Like, geez, it must be pretty expensive for your, you know, your bank account. But yeah, they do really well traveling. Let's get into our team of the week, and there's absolutely no controversy here because we made the right choices. Forwards, we have Geordie Kairos, Benjamin Berard, Ryland Freed. On D, we've got Jamie Woodman, Kyler Matthews, and Ryland Toth. Sean, there were some close ones here, weren't there?
There sure were. Now I wish that I had kept this up with who the other players were that were close, but I've just closed it down. But anyway, there was some other players that were close. Fledell was very close to getting in goals. Clark was really close to get on the D line, and yeah, Drolet was very close to get a forward position. But all these players, I think, had phenomenal weekends. I think as well. I equally think there was a good shout out to some of the other Mustang players, especially their forwards. But yeah, overall, everyone will notice there's a return of a North Stars player. It's been a while since we've had a North Stars player in our team of the week. I did have a look back. It's been 6 rounds, and last time it was also Matthews. But yeah, a little a weird quirk. But yeah, I thought Woodman had one of his best weekends of the season, and Berard, he was just scoring everything. He was stepping up and just putting it away. That was good to see.
It was good to see Geordie Kairos on a line with Nathan Vertez and Hikusaka, I believe, on that top line. It was Kairos played really well against, you know, he can score goals. He was setting up. He was playing well in the defensive zone. He was everything you could ask for in a forward.
He was one of those forwards who last year really stepped up, I thought, into a new level. And that got him onto the national team as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Woodman's speed is unreal. It's unreal to watch in person. It's so good.
I think Berard has been phenomenal for the Thunder. And I think without Addison, he nearly got back-to-back hat-tricks on the weekend.
Yeah.
And without Addison, and now Tenasalmi's gone down as well, really taking over, sort of, you know, grabbing the bull by the horns type of thing, and sort of chucking the team on his back in the scoring department.
Yeah. And I'm sure everyone at Hockey Hype and everyone else is wishing Tenasalmi a speedy recovery after what happened on the weekend.
Yes. And shout out to Cass Edwards, I think, spent all Saturday night at the hospital. So shout out to her, the medical team. We'll get to that a bit later, actually. But let's roll shall we roll some highlights? Yep.
Now we dodge for the North Stars. Just wait for the trailer to come in. Drolet comes in, fires, shoots, scores! It's all square again. And Newcastle needed that. They hold on just at the other end and they come back with speed the other way. They look to intently make something work in that zone. That's a fantastic finish by Francis Drolet. Great work by Wahid to hold it up. And then Drolet comes all the way through. Beats Hatsu Ashita over the glove. And that's where he can be beaten.
Through the legs, the nutmeg.
I love that goal. And I love it because I know we're all football fans as well. And to see the old nutmeg in action, it's pretty cool.
You'd love to see someone like Drolet play at the Bell Centre so that the fans can chant Drolet, 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 Drolet.
Love it.
But yeah, it was a great goal from Drolet. Yes, we've got Drolet love it. Some Drolet love from Says G and from Mark Hotwood. Yes, the visiting fans. Yep, about time that we've had a Newcastle player. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Tori. Mr. Big Time must have been close. He was really close. Yeah. And yes,
he's been playing really well too. Like he's had a number of good weeks.
Yeah, and yes, good goal. This is a game of inches. Let's play our next goal for any Yu Hikosaka fans.
Was the one that brought that in. And it'll come back. Here's Heiko Saka. Heiko Saka comes in. Too patient, too good. Even past Kimwin. And Heiko Saka, he's been a highlight reel for the Thunder this season. Just outweighted Kimwin.
Yeah, Kimmer doesn't look happy about it. I'm not sure what he's trying to debate, that maybe he's had an equipment issue going on. Usually he's really good at reading those and being patient. But as he's come down...
He made Kimlin look like a rookie.
It's so much time. He had so much time. Like you see him like slow down. It's like he was going one-on-one in a shootout. That was his speed. What a pass to break him out just straight through the middle of the ice. And that's what I mean when I'm like, can you tag that one on Kimmer? Like, what's he supposed to do? Like, I don't know.
The edge work from Hikosaka, absolutely unreal. You see skaters like that throughout the game, and they lose an edge and fall over. That edge work to cut back and score, unbelievable.
Yeah, and we've had a few of those this year, Diggy, which has been great to see. I must admit, I am very jealous of how big the Sydney Ice is and how you can actually get those kind of breakaway goals, because it's very hard in Canberra.
Well,
you're basically two steps and you're in the crease.
Well, I'm jealous about how in Canberra you can get a scoring opportunity from in your own zone. Like it's
very true.
20-foot hockey. No, it's
just end to end.
Yeah, and then getting angry at Kimlin for that when his defense is missing. Like Tay Funding feels harsh. Yeah, there was Anthony Russell just not holding back. But yeah, it was a great goal by Hikosaka. He scored another really good goal against the Sydney Ice Dogs, I believe, on the Saturday. Like he's been such a good player for the Thunder. I heard that his goal scoring song. So he hasn't scored in Perth, but I forget what his goal scoring song is. Cass Edwards, if she's still in the chat, may be able to let us know. But they played his goal song during the stoppage of play, that just before the goal and immediately after he scored. So whoever is the DJ at Macquarie, and I think they did that, like their victory song or winning song was played during the warm-ups. So I don't know, is there a Perth Thunder infiltrator operating the booth at Macquarie? We've got Woodman with Pedro Okay, so it was Woodman. My apologies. Cass Edwards. Yes, that was brilliant from Sharon. Pedro.
Maybe
yes.
maybe Tyler Hubert is a new DJ at Macquarie. Gordon.
No comment. I want to keep my job. Let's
thing you know, Canberra will be back there and they're playing Whoop. There it is.
Now here's another highlight, and it's about 1:48, but I think it's worth the time, and enjoy the dulcet tones of Eric Bolnar and Tash Ferrier.
Spin around, so they're going to get her spinning around. I think this will be a fun one to watch. So spin around, and then she's got to turn around and fire the shot on goal. So she's getting spun around. And now her partner's going to say, go, and here's the shot. Well, she missed the shot, but I think the action's at center ice.
She's not even she doesn't know where she is. She's on her own here. Blindfolds off.
Here we go.
There we go. Oh, that's lovely to see. She's just,
I think it's a yes.
She had to check that ring out first. She had to have a little look and make sure she liked the look of that, but it seems that she's happy as on all front.
That reaction was amazing. Do we have a replay on the reaction?
Oh, that is beautiful. What a lovely moment at the Ice Arena today.
Yeah, that was an epic expression. You can still see them at center ice. They're not even kicking them off the ice. Now the crowd's yelling for them to kiss. There's the replay. Look at the reaction. Here it is.
Oh, that's lovely. Congratulations to the both of them. There we go.
That was well executed.
That's brilliant. Congratulations to these guys.
One more look from the side angle.
Oh, she's so stoked.
How good was that?
I love the fact that there's multiple camera angles and just the expression is just so perfect.
Yeah.
It's a brave person.
Brave
person.
Absolutely. Like, how you don't do that not knowing it's 100%, right? Like,
yeah, and especially because that weekend, especially on the weekend in Adelaide, those two games were basically sellouts, especially the second game. So you've got an absolute packed arena.
Yeah,
and I think is it Brock Bentley that got some awesome photos? The photos are unreal.
Yeah. Make sure you follow him on socials. He put together a little video as well on the Sunday. Was that proposal from the Sunday? Do you guys? I thought it was, right?
I think it was. I can't remember now. I think it was the Sunday.
Because I'm like, the Adelaide Adrenaline haven't conceded a goal all season when there's been a marriage proposal on the ice. So Adelaide fans who are in a serious relationship, you know what you have to do, right? You do it for the team.
Even if it's not a serious relationship.
Just meet at the rink and do the proposal, and Ryland Toth will get you a shutout.
Married at first sight, Adelaide House style.
Everyone will be having weddings, having Elvis weddings. Just all these weddings popping up all over the place.
Although I tell you what, so the guy's name is John T. And he had a Doritos cap on. I think he needed a Hungry Jack's cap.
He did. Yep, the proposals are better at Hungry Jack's. Make that a tagline. Anyway, yes, Julie Sugden. It was lovely to see. How good was Tash Ferrier's comment? She had to take a look at the ring just to make sure that she wanted to say yes. And
can
Eric
you imagine having a
slumber.
running commentary on your proposal?
How cool is that? That's an artifact. You don't even need to pay for a videographer, right? Because you're getting it paid for by AIHL TV and Spacequake Sports. Like, what a good deal. And Eric Brook, I woke from my slumber just in time for the proposal and the related commentary from Eric and Tash. What timing? Congrats to the happy couple, and good on the Adrenaline for helping make that happen as well. 100%. I think Danielle Calvaresi or something, someone had mentioned her in the comments. I'm not sure if she was responsible, but congrats to her, if so, for making it happen. And yes, we had a few. Grant Tillman scored his 100th. Vadim Vyasov scored his 100th. Bo Taylor, technically his 100th, which includes playoff goals.
I think
and someone got his
100th playoff goals.
And someone got their 100th point in Canberra. Who was the Canberra Brave player who got 100 AIHL points?
Name is escaping me right this second, but I do know that Alexei Toivonen did play his 100th game the other week, and I completely had a big oversight on it. So congrats to Alexei Toivonen for his 100th 2 weeks ago.
Yes, congrats. So we do have... we haven't done the fan voted 3 stars for this week. We do have this, Sean, which take us through the 3 superstars of the week. We thought we'd do a special one. Some of these people got votes in the comments anyway.
1 second. Paul Finesse is right. Ratcliffe was the player who got his 100th.
Yes. Yep.
All right. So superstars of the week. So, okay, fans, your vote will come later this week. We'll post it on socials, but we just thought we're going to give this segment over to our superstars of this week. So first up, first star, we've got Annalie Quisler. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. So Annalie is been a fixture of the AI for some time now, devoting a lot of time and energy and expertise to the league. This past week, she was run off her feet with a pre-game public skate session incident, as well as a number of incidents during the Ice Dogs game, and one major incident in particular. She made a big difference on the ground in Sydney on the weekend, and she deserves a lot of praise for her actions this and every weekend. She is the epitome of volunteers across the league, so stick taps to her and all the other volunteers we have. So our second star relates to the video we just watched. So Jonty and Kalani, I hope I've pronounced that right. So a marriage proposal on ice in the middle of a game. It is very bold, as Gigi has mentioned. The couple have been following the Adrenaline and hockey for a few years now. This proposal was over a month in the works, and congrats on the Adrenaline for helping organize it and making it happen. And I think it really caught a lot of people by surprise, and it really was a moment of both suspense and joy. And I must admit, this is the second hockey proposal I've seen in the AI over the years that I've been following. This follows Mandy and Murray in Canberra a few years ago. That was also a yes. So far, 100% yes. It's a good strike rate. Okay, and third star, people may have seen this. So I did post this up on AI Fans, and this was a story coming out of the Adrenaline. So Yaroslav Michenko, he is a 14-year-old hockey player. He's from Ukraine and moved to Australia 2 years ago. He recently represented the South Australian team at the De Vries Under-15 National Championships in Newcastle, where he finished second with the team. And he got to do the ceremonial puck drop before the Adrenaline game, and got to meet the newly arrived Ukrainian international defenseman, Alexander Voronin. Sorry. So a big moment for him, and he was draped in his big Ukrainian flag. And it was just such a touching moment to see in the league. I know that there was a lot of focus on the weekend on some of the negative things happening around the place, but there were some really good moments that did happen as well. And sometimes you just got to put a bit of focus on the good in this world that we have and the great people that we have around us.
Well said, mate. Well said. There definitely were some superstar performances there. There is one more superstar performance. And Andrew McDougall has done great work with this Pride and Puck podcast, and obviously here at Hockey Hype Australia, and was able to drop the puck. Was invited to drop the puck for the Mustangs Pride round against the Newcastle North Stars. A brilliant photo from Phil Taylor. Doogie, talk us through the experience.
It was really cool. I did cop a bit of slack about the jersey I was wearing from a couple of mates, but it was really cool to get the recognition from a club that I've been a fan of since 2010, and also my podcast that I've sort of been on the grind with it, and it's slowly reaching different parts of the world. And I know you guys would be aware that it got mentioned in a newspaper in Canada as well, at one stage earlier this year as well. So it's just getting people from the community to tell their stories of how they found hockey in inclusive spaces to play the sport that they love. So to get that recognition for not only that podcast, but the work that I've done for hockey here from the Mustangs was really cool. And the experience is really, really good. I did take a little bit of time to actually drop the puck because I was looking at Phil Taylor to get the thumbs up that the photo was taken. And a friend of mine said, geez, you kept us in suspense. But the other part of it as well on the day that I really loved is that I actually got to share it with Matt Armstrong playing game 250. And you sort of get to know these people across the years, and Army's been really good to us. GG, every time he sees us at the rink, even at the Global Series, was happy to do an interview. He sees us at O'Brien, and he would just come across. I think it was the A-Dub finals. He was with his family going just for a public skate and made time to shoot across and say hello. So Army's a terrific fella, just a legend of the sport here. So to actually drop the puck on Pride game, but to do it with Army at game 250 was really cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you still have the puck? Where's the puck, Doogie?
A funny story. I actually gave it to a friend of mine at the rink. A good friend of mine, one of my best mates. So he was at the rink and he actually wanted a puck. He's wanted a puck for a while. And he's waiting for one to pop over the glass. And I grabbed the puck and walked around and gave it to him. So he's got it at his house.
Lovely. I must admit, that's one of those things that are harder to come by on a rink that has glass all around. Pucks. No, that's great.
Yeah.
I must admit, it's funny watching it live on AIHL TV, Doogie, because obviously you're looking at the camera for the photo, but the TV camera is higher, so everyone's just looking away from the TV camera. It's quite funny to see. And I did see Matt Armstrong look up twice. He looked back at you twice.
And I know
Yeah.
I know that you sent through a banner too to ATC, GG.
Yeah, so James Morgan was really kind from ATC and reached out and said, hey, do you guys want a banner to display? And I said, oh, like a banner of, well, I had no idea what he was asking for. And he's like, just like something 1920, but whatever the ratio is, with your website and socials and the logo from the podcast and your logo. So I put something quickly through from a Phil Taylor photo. And yeah, he put it up on the screen, I think, and on AIHL TV.
Yeah, it did pop up on AIHL TV as well. It was great to see. And James Morgan for doing that.
Yeah, he didn't have to. He didn't have to reach out to us and ask us. So I really appreciated that. So that was a really cool thing from the weekend. Just catching up on the comments. Yes, we've got both Hamish Davey and Paul Finesse have better brains than I do, remembering it was Ratcliffe. With the point. Tory Diver, we will get the 3 North Stars of the week graphic sorted for you. That is coming. They got and Sharon Della Costa. Well done, Annalie, your ghost sister from Ella Lakari. Well done and great choices from Phil Taylor. Cheers, Annalie from Jeffrey Allen Roth. I love the change up in this week's stars. Well done, thank you, Willie. Ruined it with the Flames jersey from Brett Barker. Can't believe the security didn't get that pitch invader in that Melbourne v Newcastle game. That was great, Sean. Recognizing fans and volunteers should be more of it. 100%. Yes, definitely. Well done, Sean. Army had no idea it was his 250th on the weekend. I guess you just keep suiting them up, right? So nice one, Doogie. Got a puck at my first ever game from Says G. So she's someone to sit nearby. If you want a puck, come hang out under the scoreboard at the Brave Cave. I nearly got killed by a puck during warm-ups at the Brave Cave in behind the net. They've got that chicken wire and it rebounded like off the brick wall and just about took my head off, but I got a puck. So, it's
I have one puck as well.
They're pretty dinged up.
Yeah, by the time you get it, especially if it's like match play, it's pretty beat up.
Oh, Tori, you're breaking my heart. The 3 stars is the only reason she's here. Yeah. We collect pucks for kids at Boondall from Julie Sugden. That's really cool. Like, as a kid, if you're going to a game and you get something like, if I was 10 or something and going to a hockey game and I got a puck, I would be 10-year-old me would have been so excited. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I remember earlier this year, Matt Carina, when he was in Canberra, he was out the back of the change rooms after the game when the Ice beat the Brave, and he was giving away one of his broken sticks and a puck to a youngster. It was really good to see. And that kid was ecstatic. Like, it was like all Christmases at once.
Yeah. We do have one final segment before we go. Brady Petrus has copped a few myself. We do have one final segment, and that is the brilliant video put together by yourself, Doogie. And then we've got one announcement after this.
Dallas got a minor for hooking. Okay. He comes back, he's getting checked. Okay, you tell him. Hey!
It's a great intro video. Player safety. Just the one.
Like, it's something the NHL would produce.
It is.
They can employ me if they want.
They should, Dougie. They should.
Yeah. They would be very smart too. 100%. But like, just the one player safety incident that had a suspension. There was a fight in the Melbourne Mustangs North Stars game, but the one suspension, which I was commentating during this one, Sydney Ice Dogs number 94 basically hit Tanasami in the mouth or face area, and then Tanasami went hard into the boards and the ice. So no penalty was called on the play, but he has received a 2-match penalty for an illegal check to the head or the neck. So he'll be missing from the Ice Dogs lineup for the next 2 games. And yeah, we wish Tanasami all the best. It took them. Man, you never when they're cleaning. Like, the good thing about Fox Media Group is they don't show tons of replays after, like, they showed one replay and that was it. But yeah, it was like they're cleaning up blood off the ice, and it's makes you sick. It makes you pretty sick.
There's always these unfortunate incidents that happen in hockey. I will say this: number 94 for the Ice Dogs is not normally a player who goes out there to hurt other players. So it was just a really unfortunate incident, badly timed, badly executed, and it's unfortunately led to a bad injury. So not a great time all round.
I don't think most players, I'd say 99% of players, Sean, don't go out there to to hurt.
That's right.
It's a fast game. Things happen so quickly. You might think there's a hit there and there's just a slight movement. But I will say, GG, you mentioned the fight in the Mustangs game. The crowd love a fight, I tell you. As soon as
they really do.
Any sign of dropping the gloves, geez, they go off.
Yeah, and like it is nothing that will get like fans up out of their seats quicker than a fight or a potential fight starting. It's quite something.
It is.
Yeah, it's both sides. When you see like I had to do an assignment for uni on CTE. Well, I chose to do it on CTE. When you like hear some of the stories and when you see what some of the players deal with post career, yeah, it's pretty bad. But we do have
suspension goes before you go on. Like I saw quite a few people in AI fans talking about, how can this suspension only be 2 games, when others which seem less severe in its causality also receive 2 games. But I think it's when it comes to assessing suspensions, you got to assess the infraction without taking into account the causality of the action. So there was. He did do an illegal check and he got 2 games for that illegal check. Whether the other player got injured or not shouldn't really come into play for that. Because otherwise you'd be handing out, massive penalties to people for, what is genuinely an accident.
We do have a job opportunity for you from Matthew Wiggins. You couldn't do any worse than Peros, Doogies. Potentially NHL head of player safety role beckons.
Who is that
guy? Matthew Wiggins. I'm not sure he wears socks. So we know. I'm not sure if it's the same Matthew Wiggins from the photo at the start from TTC. That's his alter ego.
You can make a lot of money from feet and socks, GG.
I've tried. It's not as much as you think. Anyway, we've got Alita Teal. I lose pucks and sticks and pucks all the time, so I'm pretty excited. I want to get a puck from a game too. So it never ends. The joy never ends. Alita, Anthony Russell with some approval for AIHL player safety. You all know my complaints on how the AIHL announces these, but it's fair cop of a suspension. Again, another comment that potentially no bans. It's because the AIHL comes under IIHF rules, so that's where a lot of this stems from, and that's where a lot of the difficulties come when there is like assessing of suspensions, because you're like, well, this clearly should be punished, but you need to do it under the IIHF framework, which is a whole other level of complex. And yes, some joy there. Enough already about the socks and the feet. That's a whole different channel as well from Paul Finesse. Let us, before this gets completely out of control, let us go to, I'm going to put on the week 17 or round 17 preview, depending on what camp you're in there. First of all, Sean, which games are you watching? And briefly, why?
Oh, you got to be watching those Perth Thunder games versus the Ice and the Mustangs. They're pretty massive. And then the Brave versus the Bears. The Bears probably they would after what happened last week. The last team they want to be versing is the Brave right now. So massive game.
Doogie?
I think it depends on the Saturday. If Adelaide win on the Saturday, the Sunday will be really interesting with the Lightning and the Dogs.
Yeah.
Because if the Lightning can't get a result against the Rhinos and the Adelaide win, Sunday is going to be huge.
So true. But Doogie, have you noticed the Ice Dogs play in Adelaide on Saturday and then in Sydney on Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems so unfair.
Tough turnaround.
Yeah. I think that Bray Bears game is going to be pretty intense. I was talking with Kai Mietinen earlier this season, and I asked him, what's the biggest rivalry to you? And the biggest rival of the Brave, and he's like, Newcastle's up there, but it's probably the Bears. And I remember we had a chat, Doogie, when we did the Net Sticks and Chill podcast with Matt Wombat Harvey, and he said the same thing. Bears was biggest rivalry for him.
Yeah, well, the last game was massive. The last game at the Brave Cave, the atmosphere was unreal.
Yeah.
So that'll be
great atmospheres, and this I also think that's because the Bears fans travel really well, and the Brave fans travel really well. So you get a good contingent of away support, which makes noise in the other barns, and yeah, it creates a high electric atmosphere.
Yeah. So just before we go, we will do another ad read to announce the sponsor that we had. The AIHL announced Hungry Jacks, and we are announcing TTC. Are you ready to elevate your software to the next level? Our quality partner, TTC Global, works with companies to ensure software meets your customers' needs and is ready for the real world. So whether you're a startup launching your first website and app, or an enterprise upgrading your internal systems, the expert team at TTC Global has got your testing angles covered on everything from functionality and security to performance and accessibility. Victory's in the details. So send an email to australia@ttcglobal.com using code HHA2024 and get on the power play with TTC Global today. They test so you can sit back and enjoy the hockey.
We have TTC. Can they come to my department, which is infrastructure and communications? Like we really need their help.
They handle all sorts of contracts, from small businesses right up until big ones like Amazon Web Services and Atlassian, etc. So I'm sure they would be able to have the expertise to handle it. Just use code HHA 2024, Sean, when you refer them. But we have a special guest coming on next week, potentially. So
potentially.
Well, he said yes. So we should we announce it, Doogie? Should we?
Yeah, I think so. Got to generate interest, mate, and get it out there.
Hype. All right, that's what we're all about.
All right. So we're gonna have Sean O'Connor on the show next week, and Nathan Walker.
Yeah.
So Nathan Walker is going to come on to Hockey Night in Australia. We may change the format just a little bit, just so that you get maximum Stormy and minimum us. So we might just change around a little bit. So feel free to bring some banter for that as well.
And he's keen to talk AI, so that's why he's coming on. He wants to talk AI. So
yeah, he demanded to come on. He demanded to appear on our show. He's like, I've got a few things to say about. No, he didn't. He was really nice. We just asked and threw out some options, and we Doogie, and he was like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. And
he was great on your wraparound pod the other night. The new AW ambassador.
We do have this from Anthony Russell. No change of format. Make him read the North Stars of the week. It'll be the Ice Dogs of the week next weekend. If we do that, we'll do that for Stormy. Huge guys, good stuff. Tori Diver, I'm the guest. We should get you on. And yes, I'm on it, Sean, from Matthew Wiggins. The Bears CBL rivalry is amazing. Just catching up, and Brody Petrus as well. Brady Petrus, Bray Bears game earlier this season was electric. Can't wait for this Saturday. So yes, that'll do it. Any final words from either of you two?
Doogie, you want to go?
Enjoy the hockey. Get out there, support your club. Watch on the stream. Do whatever you got to do. Support hockey.
Yep, Sean.
Yep. It's going to be a massive week. Lots of storylines ahead. So yeah, as Doogie said, get to the rink if you can. If you can't, get on AHL TV. Rope in your friends. Rope in your family. Let's get everyone hockey hype.
Go buy a Whopper as well.
Go buy a Whopper. Yes.
The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's. That'll do it for us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments. It's been wonderful spending the evening with all you guys and gals and people today. It's been fantastic. Thank you. We are Hockey Night in Australia from the Hockey Hype Australia Podcast Network. Find us on socials at Hockey Hype AUS, on the web hockeyhypeaustralia.com.au. We are proud to partner with TTC Global, and you can, of course, catch us in podcast form, listen to us via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, and you can watch a replay on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you for joining us.
Subscribe to YouTube, everyone.
Yeah, subscribe, like and subscribe, do those things. Well, I won't tell you what to do, but please, and we'll see you next time.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still